C.J. Stroud, number one. C.J. Stroud, number one. H-Town till I drive. What's up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the AFC South Roundtable. It is about to go down tonight. Man, this stream is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video. We'll give you more on that in just a moment. But shout out to the entire division of the AFC South. Man, oh man, what a year it was. And now we have finality. We know who's in the playoffs and who's not. We know who reigns supreme and who doesn't. We know who's at the top of the mountain and whose are the pebbles below. Shout out to the Houston Texans, 2023 AFC South champs for the first time. What? Oh my gosh. This is insane. Not the first time ever, but it's been a long time since they've actually been champs of the division, ladies and gentlemen. 2019 has been 4 years. It has passed them over, but here they are. They are here now, and they're here to stay with their young phenom. Without further ado, let's go ahead and introduce to you all the hosts of the AFC South Roundtable. At the bottom of the division, finishing 2023-2024 season, we have the Tennessee Titans with Titan Rossi. What's up, man?
What's going on, man? It's
you
a
all
good
right,
feeling
man? Good way to finish the season, right?
Hey, man, I'm good. You know, I'm shocked. I'm shocked that it happened. And I know UCF and Jaguars fans were absolutely bummed. I felt that way last year when they beat us, but I'm telling you, that stadium, it was a good feeling. You know, it was a good feeling to at least finish out the season like that after the crap season that we had. So.
Oh man. But you know what? The future might be bright. We got some stuff to talk about. Mike Vrabel out the door. We'll get to that in just a moment. Number 3 in the division, ladies and gentlemen. Yours truly, the Indianapolis coach with Derek Lager. What's
Titan
up,
Rossi, dude. I show a little bit of excitement here, man. Like, your team just pulled off from what UCF Jaguar was telling us was impossible. There's just no way that the Jaguars could lose to y'all. Hey, listen, that game on Saturday night was rough, man. I'll tell you what. I was all my emotions about it. It really sucks that Indy had a chance to be where Ruben is right now. Indy was just a few plays away from making it happen. And you know what? I can't be too upset about it. We're here. We're going to make it happen. 2024, it's a whole different story. And hey, at least we're not the Jacksonville Jaguars.
Shots fired. Speaking of the Jacksonville Jaguars, ending up number 3 in the division, we got our man UCF Jaguar. What's up, man?
Not a good feeling right now as a Jags fan, man. I mean, in all honesty, we completely choked. I mean, we were 8-3 at one point. We literally had the number 1 seed for like 3 hours, and then all the Jaguars had to do was go 2-4 from that point to win the AFC South, and they went 1-5, only beating the worst team in the NFL, the Carolina Panthers. And the Jaguars organization should be completely embarrassed and ashamed of themselves. I mean, heads are rolling right now, but not the right heads. I mean, the GM should be gone right now, and it's crazy. In the AFC South for the second year in a row, you know, we have the young and upcoming team unseating the returning champs, and the way they did it when it comes to just the end of the season just collapse. It's just embarrassing. So shout out to the Titans for pulling off the upset. Shout out to the Texans for winning it. Hey, you guys deserved it. You guys were the better everything down the stretch, and it was rough. So not a very fun moment, and we'll just have to I don't know, have to sit with it. I mean, nothing we can really do, right?
Oh man, I understand, man. It's tough. Maybe it was injuries, maybe it was all that. We'll get into it, man. But listen, unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, if you're not first, you're last. And these three gentlemen on the screen are last. Their teams came up short. But you know what? There is one team. There's one team that didn't come up short. Their representative tonight have held this team down ever since we started this roundtable. He never wavered. He always believed. He talked his talk, and I'm here to tell you that his team backed it up. Shout out to the 2023 NFC South champion, Ruben!
H-Town till it drown. What did I say a couple of weeks ago? I don't care what those odds say. As long as I have Coleridge, Bernard, Stroud, the fifth at quarterback, I can win every single game. Not only that, the Houston Texans made history, ladies and gentlemen. The first time a rookie head coach and a rookie quarterback win their division, they go up to Indy, smack the Colts. I told y'all this. Put your money on the Houston Texans. CJ Stroud is not a rookie. He is one of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. Hey, let's go to the Super Bowl, baby.
Oh my gosh, man. This is crazy how all of this ended. Ladies and gentlemen, we're going to dive in. We're going to talk about the particulars, all the details of what went down this weekend. Before you do, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to this channel right now. We're on the road to 3,000 subscribers, only a little over 400 away. The channel continues to grow bigger and better. Go ahead and subscribe now. Get ready for the off season and next season. Hit the like button. Let your friends and family members know about the channel. Before we dive in, don't forget, this channel is brought to you by Roundtable Sports, ladies and gentlemen. Roundtable Sports is the channel that's bringing divisions together. It's only possible through Roundtable Sports. Make sure that you subscribe to the mother channel of Roundtable Sports. Also, make sure you subscribe to every division's channel and make sure that you hit the like button on those videos as we build something special, bringing divisions together. There it is right there on the screen. All of the roundtables are listed right on Roundtable Sports. The link is in the description of the video, and you can see the show at the very top, 3 and Out. Monday nights at 7:30 p.m. every Monday, 3 and Out has a show with some of your favorite hosts from Roundtable Sports. Some of these guys are also guests on the show as well. So again, subscribe to them all. Roundtable Sports will show you all of the roundtables, and you can interact with all of the hosts. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, I want to say once again on behalf of Roundtable Sports, congratulations to all the Houston Texans fans on winning the AFC South. You move on to the playoffs. We got to get into it. We're going to start with Titan Rossi. What are your thoughts of the Houston Texans winning it all in the division?
It's insane how this division turned out. And like UCF said, they were 8-3. We were 7-3 last year and tanked. We kind of did a similar thing, and it's just insane. I mean, the one team, Houston was the one team nobody expected to win the division. I mean, with the rookie quarterback and this and that, even as talented as CJ Stroud was coming out of college, you would have never picked the Texans to do what they did. Now, I will say the Tennessee Titans did help you guys out. You got to give us props for that. And it's insane that the only division game that the Titans win is the very last game against the Jaguars. Man, it was insane. But, props to Houston, props to CJ Stroud. You know, honestly, me being a fan of a team that's in the AFC South, I want them to go to the Super Bowl. I'd love to see them win the Super Bowl. You know, do they got what it takes? I don't know. But, you know, I would love to see that happen. And, you know, shout out to the Texans for doing what they did this season.
Hey, man, you can keep the Oilers uniform for that win on Sunday.
Back into that one.
Oh, wow. Oh, my gosh. Derek, talk to us. What are your thoughts on the Houston Texans winning the division, man?
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, Ruben and I had talked about it in a preview video that we did for my channel earlier in the week. We were talking about it. I mean, there's a good chance that, you know, whoever wins this game is going to end up winning the division when it's all said and done. So, I mean, you know, here we are. You know, I mean, Ruben, you and I held out hope that there was a chance that something like this could happen. And listen, man, you and I both said we both wanted a competitive game that was going all the way down to the wire. And believe me, it did. Makes your victory all that much sweeter. I'm sure we can talk more about this game in all totality, but hey, listen, congrats to you guys, man. I love it. And of all these teams here, besides mine, I pray y'all win that Super Bowl, man. Go win.
Thank you. Appreciate it, man.
Super Bowl. UCF Jaguar. I know it's tough, man, but give us your thoughts on Houston winning it.
Yeah, man. I mean, look, they were the best team down the stretch, like I said. And look, I talked a lot of shit. And, you know, unlike a lot of people, I don't hide from, you know, everything. I don't make excuses. Look, the Texans, they were the best team at the end of the season. You know, they took care of business. The Jaguars were honestly, the Jaguars, if we're power ranking this AFC South right now, the Jaguars are probably number 4. I mean, we were absolutely pathetic at the end of the season. And I always knew that, look, the Texans were definitely the top 2, you know, in the AFC South all the way through. And I think I probably had a negative view on the Colts most of the season just because, you know, the Jaguars swept them in the first 6 weeks and I kind of forgot about them. But, you know, they were slowly but surely, you know, kept winning games. But, yeah, I mean, the Texans won it. But I got to say this, guys. Look, we're all division rivals. Why are you guys hoping the freaking Texans win the Super Bowl? Are you kidding me? What kind of patty cake AFC South are we? We hate each other. Don't ever say anything like that. Look, we're all rooting for the Cleveland Browns to beat. You guys think on the AFC South Roundtable?
I hate Ruben's team right now. Nobody hates Ruben's team more than myself.
You
right
just
now,
said that you hope they win the Super Bowl. Did you not say that?
If I just said if any of you guys had a chance to win one, I'd rather he win it than any of you guys. That's all I'm saying.
I know you do. You and Ruben had your own little patty cake session this whole entire year.
We've been having it the whole time, baby. But we know it ain't gonna happen, though. We know it ain't gonna happen.
Hey, we're going to Vegas, baby. We're going to hold up that Lombardi. You're going to see CJ Stroud looking at it. You're going to see D'Amico Ryan's big white-ass smile, white-ass teeth just like that gleaming in the sun. And you are going to see greatness. That's all you're going to see is greatness for the next 10 years.
If you guys play the way that you did against Indianapolis, y'all about to get smacked once again.
With Will on a snap count, no Jonathan Grenard. Hopefully you get those 2 people back. It's a good, it's a good thing to have 2 of your best edge rushers in the playoffs.
Bro, every team has injuries, bro. I mean, you guys did your thing and you guys overcame it, but like it's always the injuries, man. It's crazy.
Wow.
We overcame the injuries and we're in the playoffs, and Jaguars and Colts and Titans are not.
Yeah, but y'all are good in spite of the injuries. It doesn't matter. Like, you guys got to sit here and say we have the best team in the AFC South, not talk about how injured you are.
We do. We have the best team in the AFC South, and we're also one of the most injured in the AFC South, overcoming that the entire season. I mean, we played the Steelers all the way back in week 4 with 4 out of our 5, offensive linemen out. We lost Tank Dell. We were without CJ Stroud 2 games, and we won 1 of them. So not only are we the best team in the AFC South, but overcoming all these injuries just makes this all the more sweeter. Because like Derek said, no one expected the Houston Texans to be there.
Well, with that being said, Trap Squad wanted to say we are the champions, my friend, as well. Keep on fighting to the end. We are the champions. No time for losers, because we are the champions of the South.
Yes, sir.
Let's go. If you want to send a super chat congratulating the Houston Texans, just put it below. We'll read it out for you. But Ruben, man, let's give you the floor. How did you all do it? Just recap this season for everyone.
And it goes all the way back to who you hired as head coach, DeMeco Ryans. And then you just announced yourself in the NFL draft. You traded up for almost all of your players, C.J. Stroud, Will Anderson Jr., Juice Scruggs, Tank Dell, and then a free agency where you got a veteran for every single position group. It was Dawson Schultz, Devin Singletary, and Shaq Mason for the offense. It was Jimmy Ward. It was Denzel Perriman and Sheldon Rankins on the defense. It was a whole collective effort, but like I just said, it goes back to who you hired first, DeMeco Ryans. And when we went to the first open training camp practice to the public, the crowd sang him happy birthday. Right then, I knew it was different. Then you started to see this team win games. You saw them blow out the Jacksonville Jaguars at home. You saw them blow out the Pittsburgh Steelers. Then you saw us lose games against the Panthers and games against the Falcons that we should have lost. Then you saw C.J. Stroud continue his dominance the entire season. That's how you knew this team was legit. And you did it majority of the season without a running game. Devin Singletary has gotten going the second half of the season. It has been insane what we are watching. So much of the offseason slander of having a bottom 5 roster and once again selecting in the draft. No one told the Houston Texans that. And for this team to change in just a matter of months, we only had 7 combined wins in 2 years. To go to now 10 wins and representing the AFC South, just absolutely insane. It's the coaching staff, it's the front office, it's our owners, Cowan, Hannah McNair, and then it's number 7, C.J. Stroud. That is why you're here, number 1 in the division and in the postseason.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. The Houston Texans are your AFC South division winners. They have a huge game coming up this weekend. We're going to get into that a little later. But listen, before we get started, ladies and gentlemen, listen, make sure that you go to Roundtable Sports merch shop, all right? Unfortunately, the Houston Texans championship shirts will not be up until tomorrow. Okay. The graphic designer, they will be loading them tonight, but they will be on sale tomorrow. But you can go to the AFC South Roundtable store and buy your AFC South Roundtable merch. We still have the CJ Stroud graphic tees, Trevor Lawrence, Will Levis, Anthony Richardson. The division looks like it's secure with his quarterbacks of the future that they're going to be moving forward with. But make sure you go and check it out tomorrow as well, because the AFC South Division Champs shirts will be available for purchase. You still have the AFC South pint glasses, which are one of the biggest sellers, and also the hoodies for the winter time as well. So again, check out the merch store. Get your merch today at roundtablesportshop.com. Link is in the description of the video. All right, so even though we're here to celebrate the Houston Texans.
Look at that. The franchise.
I ain't gonna lie, it's pretty
franchise.
awesome. That's pretty dope. All right, ladies and gentlemen, I know we're here to celebrate the Houston Texans, but we got to steal a little bit of the show and pivot to the Tennessee Titans. Breaking news today, they fired Mike Vrabel. Let's go ahead and get into that. I'm going to get your take last, Titan Rossi, on your overall thoughts. I'm going to start with UCF Jaguar. What was your thoughts when you heard that firing?
I mean, I was honestly pretty surprised. I thought Vrabel was actually a really good head coach. Now, it's tricky to know what's really going on there. I mean, like on the surface, look, Vrabel, all that he's done for the Tennessee Titans when it comes to, I know over my lifetime, I mean, they've had some bad guys in there, like, Mike Mularkey and, just a bunch of really, really bad head coaches. And he came in there, he changed the culture. He brought in a consistently winning team. I mean, they had been, kind of had the most AFC South championships probably last 6 or 7 years. So they were, he came in there and did a lot of good stuff, but with Mike Vrabel, who knows what's going on inside the building. Maybe they're obviously heading toward a rebuild. Derrick Henry was basically saying goodbye to everybody. Tannehill's gone. I imagine D-Hop is probably going to be gone, and I think they're going to head toward a very young roster. And when they bring in a young roster, they want their head coach of the future to kind of help build that. So, I don't know what kind of direction that they're going to head toward. They got to, they have some big shoes to fill, with Mike Vrabel. I was actually kind of happy they fired Mike Vrabel because, he's always been I thought a really good head coach, but, he's the kind of guy that he's not going to be a defensive coordinator somewhere. He's going to get a head coach opportunity somewhere. We'll just have to see where that is.
Very interesting to see where that is, man. Ruben, what was your thoughts when you heard it today?
I mean, I was shocked as well. Mike Vrabel was a coach here in Houston, a DC here before he went to Tennessee, and has been a thorn in our side ever since he has been the head coach. And it just feels like Tennessee is trying to go into a new direction. And like UCF said, Ryan Tannehill is going to be gone. Derrick Henry is going to be gone. It sounds like the owner, she did like a whole 5-minute interview that the Titans had uploaded, and she basically said how they just wanted to start fresh. She did thank Vrabel for everything they've done. Very surprising, and he is going to be a head coach. I'm thinking he goes back to the team he played for, the New England Patriots, and takes over there. But very shocking that he was fired, and I mean, it's good for us. I thought he was a very good coach.
Tough. Derek, what's your take on it?
Yeah, I felt like Vrabel was kind of a scapegoat in this whole situation. I mean, I think it's been mainly the personnel decision making that's been the biggest problem with the Titans as of recently, rather than Vrabel. I mean, you saw before that game against the Jaguars, Vrabel go out there and said, "This shit sucks. I hate this. I hate being in this position." And he's not saying why that is, because I'm sure he knows why. But I can just go back and, maybe somebody can put the video up of what happened when the Tennessee Titans decided a year and a half ago that they were going to trade A.J. Brown, the best weapon you had on that team, to the Eagles for virtually nothing, and then draft his replacement in the same draft with a guy that was nowhere near the level of an A.J. Brown. That situation was botched, and ever since then, the Tennessee Titans have just gone downhill. Their offense hasn't been the same. Their offensive production's just not been the same. There's been a lot of different things going on with the Tennessee Titans, but one thing that we all say is that Mike Vrabel coaches his ass off, and his players respect him and they play hard for him. So obviously, if you're the Titans, you're looking at it and saying, maybe we need to go in a new direction. But I mean, the whole point of a head coach is to galvanize your players, make sure that they're responsible, and make sure they're trying to do their jobs right. And for the most part, I think we can all sit here and agree that Mike Vrabel did that for the Tennessee Titans. So I'm not entirely sure what you're trying to get at here by sending him away. So that's my thoughts on it.
Well, Titan Rossi, you know better than all of us what happened, man.
Yeah, I mean, you look at the last 2 years, 7-10 and 6-11, and you look at the roster as a whole, and a lot of these roster issues goes back to the GM that they fired midway through the season. The whole deal with AJ, one of the reasons he was fired, and a few people we reported this on our network, that, he was given the authority to give AJ more money, and he never even offered it to him. Amy had found out a few things about J-Rob, and to fire a GM just dead in the middle of the season, and they were winning. That was 2 seasons ago. They were winning at that point. They weren't even they were kind of on the skid, but I think they were only a couple games into that skid. So it's been a very interesting thing, set of events. And, to me, I'm kind of indifferent with it all. Like, Vrabel, look, I think Vrabel's a good coach. Do I think he's a great coach? I don't think he's a great coach. I think he's a good coach, but I think for a young team, a team that's, when you're rebuilding, I just don't see Vrabel as a rebuilding type of coach. I see Vrabel as a coach to go in there, you know, when he's got a team that's kind of mid-level and elevate them. And the reason I say that, because there's a lot of players that were drafted and on this team that did not develop the way that you would have thought they would have. Now, I'm not saying Treylon Burks is anything close to AJ or was coming out of college or anything like that, but I don't know, man. I'm just kind of indifferent about the whole thing. You know, I love Vrabel. I love him in the, you know, in the press conferences. I think as far as relating to the players, building a rapport with the players, he's fantastic at. But there were some in-game decisions throughout his whole tenure where you were like, what in the hell are you doing, man? And the whole buddy system, I think that was one thing that got him too, was hiring all your buddies for your staff. You know what I mean? He's made some terrible staff decisions, and I think that's one thing that came back to bite him. And I'll say this, and I'll stop. But I think this morning, when all the Titans and they met, you know, whatever they did in the meeting rooms and whatever with Vrabel, I think they basically told him, hey, this is who we want to let go. You're OC, you're this, you're that. And I think he was probably like, nah, man, you know, like, I can't do that. And I think it was just time, man. And I know it's tough. It's tough because Vrabel is a good coach. He'll probably go to New England. You're exactly right, UCF. He'll be a head coach somewhere. And I hope he does well. And, you know, it looks like we're after Houston's OC, Bobby Slowick. That seems to be the number one coach that's on our board right now as far as all the analysts and everybody else.
Time will tell who the next coach is in Tennessee. Man, that was a shocker. It'll be very interesting to see where Vrabel ends up. Ladies and gentlemen, this stream, again, is being powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. The link is in the description of the video, and it is also pinned at the top of the chat. If you take a look at the screen right now, we're going to go down to the Houston Texans at plus 1,600 to win the AFC conference. That's not to win the Super Bowl, just to go to the Super Bowl. Ruben, would you take this bet on your team?
I put a quick 200 on it. I put a quick 200 on it. I trust in my team. I told y'all to put money on us a couple of weeks ago.
200 to win you at 3,200?
Yeah, man, but that's only here in Houston, dude. That's only rent and a car payment, dude. That's, you know, that's bill money right there.
What about you, UCF Jaguar? Would it be worth money putting that on there?
I mean, if you want to make a donation to BetUS, do it, man. Ooh. I don't know.
Titan Rossi, would you do it?
Yeah, man. I would do it.
Let's go, Rossi.
I like that. Derek, what about you?
If I want to put $1 on it, sure. Put $1 on it. Ain't gonna do nothing that hurt me anyway. But that's all I'm putting 16? Into that bet. No way.
So let me ask you, UCF Jaguar, who would you put your money on this sheet right here?
I mean, I'll be honest. I think the two best teams. Let me see what these odds are right now. I'll be honest. I think the two best teams in the AFC right now are the Ravens. And low-key, this team finished so hot. And I know they're playing the Texans this weekend, but don't sleep on the Browns, man. They are a good freaking football team. And the way they're playing, I know they have Joe Flacco in there. I know those are long odds, but I have a lot of belief in this Browns team right now.
That Browns 1,400 is really interesting. I got to say that. You can't sleep on the Dolphins 850, though. You know, that might be a shoe-in, too. Just throwing that in there. Man, this is interesting. But if you notice, you know, they got Baltimore the favorite, but they got the Bills with the second highest odds. Vegas is feeling something with them.
I'm taking that, honestly. Them or the Browns, honestly.
Nah, don't take the Bills, dude. They choke too much, bro.
The Ravens started way too hot. They are going to be 3 weeks without football. I'm telling you right now, the Ravens have a really great shot at getting upset first week, the first game that they play in the playoffs.
going to
It's
be
very
Houston
likely.
after we beat the Browns. We're going.
When Lamar is on point, he's on point. So if he's playing well, it's hard to beat those guys, man.
Which is true. But hey, this is, I mean, that AFC getting there is going to be real tough. We don't have to talk about the NFC because it's just the point of who's going to make it to the Super Bowl for the AFC. But speaking of the Super Bowl, ladies and gentlemen, again, the stream is being powered by BetUS. They are actually giving away 2 Super Bowl tickets. Okay? BetUS, the big game. BetUS takes you and a friend to the big game. How to participate? We will pin the instructions in the link of the video. Make sure that you go check it out. All you have to do is place a bet on any NFL line and share your bet slip on X, formerly known as Twitter, with a minimum of $25 bet. Tag BetUS_official and tag a friend you are taking with you. Use the hashtag that's listed in the description, and contest will end on the 25th of January. The winner will be announced on the 26th. Twitter only, ladies and gentlemen. All right. So follow the instructions in the description of the video so that you can get in this to get those 2 tickets. And don't forget to @ your friend, okay? You don't want to mess that up, all right?
BetUS, America's favorite sports book, where you can bet on everything anytime. Sportsbook, casino, horse racing, live betting, and more. We have the best bonuses in the industry. That's right, get a 125% sign-up bonus. And to celebrate our 30-year anniversary, we are giving up to 30 risk-free bets, a truck, Super Bowl tickets, and more. Don't miss out. Play smart. Join now. BetUS, where the game begins.
I love when they say that. BetUS, where the game begins. All right, y'all make sure y'all go check it out. Receive a 125% bonus. Again, the link is in the description of the video. Supporting our sponsors is always supporting our channel here at Roundtable Sports and AFC South Roundtable. All right, man, I'm not gonna sit here and forget. Don't think I'm gonna forget, gentlemen. Okay, Jaguars did play the Titans. Okay, we want to talk about that game. We're going to start with Ruben on this one. When you were watching the Jaguars-Titans game, what was going through your head? What happened in that one?
You know, if I'm a Jags fan, I should feel utterly disgusted with my team. I mean, at one point, like UCF said, they were 8-3, and they just had to win 2 games to secure the division, and they just failed. The game on Sunday was hard to watch because you saw the old Tennessee Titans come to play. And I was like, okay, they're playing with, they're trying to end the Jaguar season. How is Trevor Lawrence, this generational quarterback that I've been hearing since he's been drafted, how is he going to perform? And he shit the bed. He did. Let's talk about the last couple of drives, just sailing his wide receivers above them like they're 10 feet tall, reaching over into the goal line, getting nowhere close to it. It was just a bad game by Jacksonville. However, at one point you thought they were going to, make a statement in the second half. And then Derrick Henry happened and popped one out for 95 yards. It was just an embarrassing game if I was a Jacksonville Jaguars fan, man. I should be disgusted. I checked that UCF's video after, and he said the entire time, heads need to roll. And if I am a fan of the Jaguars, I'm expecting some major changes. I saw fans questioning Trevor Lawrence, like, do we need to trade him away? I saw some fans saying Trevor, like, he needs to go and demand, some help. There's a lot of problems right now going on in Jacksonville. Next year, they shouldn't even think about the division. They should just think about their team.
Man, Derek, what's your take on that game when you were watching it?
Well, I mean, it was the classic Derrick Henry showing up and ruining things for other people. This time, he pretty much, instead of ruining the Texans season, he was doing it to the Jags season this time around. Derrick Henry just decided, on my last game as a Tennessee Titan, I'm going to just go out here and just shake this division up. That basically was the common denominator here of the big game, was just the Tennessee Titans ran the football the way they wanted to, and it put them in positions to succeed further down the line. And the Jacksonville Jaguars, while they made some big plays, they had a lot more inconsistencies. And that has been a common denominator over the last 6 games for the Jacksonville Jaguars, is just making bad plays. And that's where we're at now. And, the Tennessee Titans, man, they did what Ruben and I were really hoping they would do. And, they did it the best way they could. So, hey, Rossi, man, I love it, man.
Man, oh man, let's go to UCF Jaguar. What happened?
I mean, the Jags are just, like I said, man, they finished the season just awful. And, it was just really the season changed in that Bengals game when, Trevor Lawrence injured his ankle, because look, he was a completely different quarterback after that. And, you got to hold him accountable, because look, I'm one of those guys that I judge quarterbacks a lot when it comes to how they play on the final drive of games and how they play in the playoffs. And, last year, at the end of the season, man, all the come from behind victories, all the clutch moments in the fourth quarter, winning the playoff game after being down 27 points against the Los Angeles Chargers. You went into this year being like, man, this is it. And, we thought going into the season, this offense was going to be awesome. And then look, just the offense never got going. And look, when Trevor Lawrence had the ball, on the final drive, we can make all the different excuses for him that you want. He choked. I mean, he overthrew Ridley on the deep ball. He, sailed a couple of easy out routes. And, I could tell watching that game, in the third quarter, I thought we were in trouble, because even when I was really concerned, actually, believe it or not, was on the touchdown throw to Evan Ingram, because that ball did not look the same as a usual ball that he would have. I mean, it floated like he was Gardner Minshew. And I know Gardner Minshew throwing a ball very well. It just had no zip on it. And, but look, he played through all different injuries, the knee injury, the ankle injury, the concussions, the shoulder sprain, the same exact thing that Anthony Richardson had. And, he had an injury, a concussion that kept CJ Stroud out a couple games, and he fought through it. Unfortunately, he just wasn't very good, with those injuries. And, hindsight's 2020. Hindsight, he probably should have stayed out a little bit. I mean, look, we were 1-5 down the stretch. It would have helped to at least held him out a couple games, so you would have had a shot at winning another one. But it was tough. It was tough. And, the entire offense, just everything was disappointing. The offense, I mean, on the QB sneak Trevor Lawrence had, the center got pushed back to the 5-yard line. The wide receivers, there were constantly communication issues, and the whole entire offensive scheme just sucked. And a lot of people are looking at, fire the offense coordinator, Press Taylor. But, all Press Taylor is, he's just Doug Peterson's minion. He's just, it's Doug Peterson's offense too. And, they held the entire defense liable. They fired everybody on defense. They need to get rid of the GM, because look, the last couple of drafts have been pretty bad outside of our first round picks. And, it's only going to get worse as the years go on. And I don't know. It's just, we suck. Fuck the Jaguars. And, we end the season awful.
Hey, man.
Oh, man.
Look at what has happened to UCF Jaguar, man.
The Jags are down bad right now.
I mean, what am I supposed to say right now? I know I embellish the Jaguars a lot on here, but it was tough to defend them throughout the year. It's tough to defend everything going on, but everything was completely mismanaged, including, they should have been sitting Trevor Lawrence, in all honesty, because, they threw him out there, threw him to the wolves when there wasn't much help. And, he obviously wasn't good to go, because it was obvious that these injuries were making him look like a completely different quarterback.
Man, oh man. But hey, the man of the day outside of Ruben, Titan Rossi, man, how good did it feel to win that game?
I mean, I was there, man. It was awesome. We had awesome seats too, and it was just it was mind-blowing to me. Like, I really, and I think the whole, I mean, the people that were there, it wasn't very full. The stadium, the whole top was almost empty. There was a ton of Jags fans there too. I mean, I cannot tell you how many times I heard Duval like walking around in the stadium. The guy behind us wouldn't shut up. And eventually, as time went on in the game, you didn't really hear him much at all. And it was just like a perfect storm. It was a perfect storm of everything. And the way that they won with Derrick Henry, his probably his last game in a Titans uniform, the way that he did it. And, Derrick Henry is incredible. The last 2 seasons, he's had the most yards out of any running back. He's number 1 out of the past 2 seasons in total rushing yards, which is insane to think of, considering the past 2 seasons, their offensive line has been absolutely putrid. One of the worst I've ever seen in Nashville. I mean, I'm not just saying that. It's absolutely terrible. And that was one thing, too, that I was shocked about during this game, was the lack of pressure that Jacksonville was getting. But, they were running the ball a lot, but still, I thought, and Josh Allen and Trayvon Walker both had a sack, but I just thought they would be terrorizing Tannehill all game. I thought they would stop Henry. I thought Henry would get 50, 60, 70 yards, something like that, because he's not really, he's second in the league in rushing this year, and that last game really put his yard per carry over 4 point yards per carry, but he's been under 4 most of the season. So, it was just shocking to see, man. The stadium was so happy. Everybody was so happy. And like I said, after that type of season, to go out there and to completely knock the Jags out of the playoffs, what more could you want as a Titans fan? Really, but I have to say, man, it sucks for the Jaguars. Good Lord, but I do remember last year, we were both 8 and 9, or no, I can't remember. I think we were
8 and 8, right?
8 and 9. Yeah. And that game, it was a play-in game. You know what I mean? And the Jaguars beat us and sent us packing. So, this division is going, I believe it's going to be good for years to come. It might take the Titans a little bit to catch up, but I'm excited about this division, man.
Man, oh man, I know you shocked the world beating the Jaguars, and you really helped a lot of teams in their playoff scenarios, and you also knocked out a lot of teams with the playoff scenario. So a lot of people have been saying they're very happy with the Tennessee Titans right now. All right, ladies and gentlemen, just so you know, we got an update on the merch store. The AFC South champion Houston Texans shirts will be available between 8:30 and 9 p.m. tonight on the merch store. The link is in the description of the video. Roundtable Sports Shop. So if you want to go grab one, make sure you go check them out tonight between 8:30 and 9 p.m. They will be dropping. All right. This Thursday, we will be dropping a video right here on the channel as well for the previews of the Houston Texans versus the Cleveland Browns. These 4 gentlemen will be on the video talking about who they think is going to win the game and why, and what do they think is going to happen, and what's going to happen with their teams moving forward for the 3 losing teams in the division. So don't forget to check those out as well. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go through the super chats real quick, and then we will see you on Thursday. First one, Trap said, "We are the champions, my friend." Oh, we already read that.
Read it again.
Michael Scott said, "Thank you, King Henry from H-Town." Wow.
Future Houston Texan.
They counted us out.
No way.
They didn't think that we would make it. They didn't believe.
But look at us
now. Oh, man. Hope we can all agree the Steelers have the most toxic fan base, or they just hate the Jags because we always use that towel to clean urinals. Wow. Man. Bruce said, "Go Coach. 2024 is our comeback year."
Yes, sir. Yes,
Time
sir.
will tell. With first-time head coach, backups to backups, injuries, I'm just happy Colts finished with the winning record.
That's right, man. We got it.
Did the Colts have injuries too?
Oh, yeah. If you watched the game, you would have seen it too.
Oh, the habitual line stepper said UCF, it was over when the NFL scheduled your team against the North for three straight games. Almost looked like the Jag Fins. That old line gonna hold up, Ruben.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, there's a lot in that one.
Yeah, but hey, it does look like the Dolphins, but the Dolphins at least got in. So I'm just saying. Larry Hester Jr. said, Jags fan here. Nah, UCF really got to catch the ball. A true wide receiver one stretches out and makes the catch for his QB. The ball touches his hands.
Yeah, and I can agree with that, but I don't want to sit here and just defend Trevor Lawrence all hell. I mean, it could have been a better throw. Also could have been a catch. I mean, if it hits you in the hands, dive out for it. You're supposed to be wide receiver one. I can see both sides of it, but I mean, if I'm calling it, I say I wish the O-line protected him a little better that throw, but also, hey man, I think you got to put that ball in a little bit better of a spot.
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, thank you for tuning in to the AFC South Roundtable. AFC South champs, Houston Texans, Ruben representing. This stream was powered by BetUS. Receive a 125% bonus. Link in the description. We will see you all on Thursday. Love you. Until then, check out the merch store tonight, 8 p.m. Peace. We are out.